The session was scheduled for about 45 minutes. In the interest of time, I'm requested to deliver this about 30 minutes. I'll try to do justice to my session. Today the topic is, I'm choosing about cyber for AI and AI for cyber, right? Before I start my session, I have a brief disclaimer. Two disclaimers. One, I am part of Cocoon co-committee team, as well as I'm working in a private company. Whatever the data points I'm sharing here is all based on my personal experience, and I'm not representing any of my current or past organization officially. I'm not taking any points. Second disclaimer, I'll be talking about a lot of real-world examples, and the purpose is not to scare all of you, but to create awareness. In the age of AI, how do we really prepare for the AI-powered attacks on the AI systems which are living in, right? For me personally, whether it is cyber, digital, cloud, today everything is personal. All these things have become personal. It is not just anymore just like tools and technologies, right? Let me start with a very brief 1-minute quick video to show you that why do I think that it has become personal, not only for me, but also for you. Let me just play a very simple video.
Door.
Door open.
Radio on.
Playing radio.
And do lights.
Lights on.
Protein shake.
Making protein shake.
New York.
Loading New York. Set speed.
4.
4.
6.
6.
Child of 16.
16.
4.
Error.
Okay, 16. 4.
4.
Only 16.
Correction. 16.
Nights that would glow.
Hallo.
She was too young.
Hej Brian. Går det bra?
And I was too young to know.
Up.
Nine, down.
Lights down.
Only 16. Only 16.
4.
Fra en klassiker til en annen, her er Summer of 69.
69.
So this is how, we started living in an AI-powered world where these things are coming.
Entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything.
Yeah. So AI started coming home, right? So this is where, when the AI started coming home, industries, corporates, governments are adopting it at much more scale. So today, every business is a technology business. Even a Pani Puri seller is today building and running his business on technology through e-commerce, through fintech platforms, through digital supply chain, right? So in that whole transformation, many things are getting autonomous. When I say autonomous, which is getting intelligent, which is getting smart, which is getting connected, and which is running on cloud, right? And these smart devices are intelligent enough to run by itself, take decision by itself. And in the future, you see data will be created, transferred, stored, analyzed, and decision will be taken by the system by itself, right? And these devices are going to be getting very, very smaller. And these devices are not only staying outside in the larger corporates, these devices are going to be coming inside our body as well, in the form of many, many smart chips and other things. And more interestingly, Food and Drug Administration of the US government has approved a digital pill. That means what? We are going to eat technology. We are going to eat AI, where the doctor will be able to real-time analyze how a pill is going to be working in your body, right? Otherwise, we need to wait for 10 more days to go and meet the doctor again, how the medicine is working for us. So I personally believe that the world is going to have a full-stack cognitive architecture, which is a combination of artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, sensor fusion, extended reality, blockchain, quantum computing, and so on. And these things are not just new. If you look at the Amazon Go smart retail supermarket, it's nothing but a realization of a full-stack cognitive architecture where you can just go inside the supermarket, take anything what you want and go out. There is no sales executive, there is no point of sale, there is no counter, there is no security. And this came about 7 years back. That means what? These kind of technologies are in the industry about 7 years back. It is not only happening in the retail, this is also happening in the automobile industry. We are talking about smart cars, which is completely run on AI, which is again having a lot of sensor fusion, IoT devices, blockchain and many things coming together, right? And these smart cars are going to be manufactured in intelligent factory, intelligent manufacturing, right? Where there is, you can see complete factories having no people there actually. It's completely automated manufacturing. And these smart cars, which is built on, in the smart factories, will be running on smart roads. You can see that China has already started building smart roads, which AI on the road, right? And that is where we need to expect the ball from blue, right? Interestingly, in Russia, what happened? A cyber criminal hijacked or attacked, breached a smart car company, and they brought all the cars into one particular junction in a city to completely create a traffic chaos, right? If a car can be hacked, a road can be hacked, a factory can be hacked, right? And even interestingly, recently, it's not only in the cars, even pumps. This is a recent news which came about 2 weeks back. Somebody was hacking a petrol bunk to steal about more than 2.5 lakh rupees diesel using a Bluetooth attack. Your car is smart, your car is having a Bluetooth, and your even pump is having a Bluetooth and the smart systems in place, which is getting hacked, right? So this is where we need to look at a scenario. We knew the threats in the past, what kind of threats were there earlier, and how to really defend it. Now slowly, we started seeing new threats, where the threats are known, but we don't know how to defend them. But today we are living in a world where there are threats are totally unknown, and we don't know how to really defend this. So in the next coming minutes, I'm going to share a few examples of many unknown threats which are really happening in the world, and then I'm also going to share that how do we really use some of the upcoming or the next gen technologies to really defend and protect against it, right? So there is a book called Art of War. In that one, Sun Tzu makes a very interesting statement. If you know yourself and if you know your enemy, you don't have to worry about the result of a war, battle, right? You will win. But if you don't know yourself and if you know your enemy, or if you know yourself and if you don't know your enemy, for every battle you win, the other battle you lose. That means 50% chance of winning the war, right? And unfortunately, if you don't know yourself and if you don't know your enemy, every battle will fail, right? Now the question here is actually, do we know the invisible enemy who is nameless, faceless, and stateless, who will be using all these advanced technologies to really launch attack against organizations in the world, right? The AI just bringing a lot of advanced capabilities. It's a double-edged sword, right? Now, unfortunately, with all these AI systems, we are outsourcing our memories, abilities, and capabilities to these AI devices. When I talked about autonomous devices, right? We know Alexa. We just say that Alexa, turn on the AC. AC is getting turned on. But when the autonomous devices are coming, we don't need to even tell Alexa to turn on the AC. The smartwatch which we are wearing is context aware and can automatically and intelligently instruct the AC to say that, okay, Philip is having some temperature, why don't you adjust the temperature accordingly? He's having some fever, so please adjust the temperature accordingly. Autonomous devices, intelligent devices, right? And the devices which are going to be inside our bodies also will take these kind of decisions. So when we are choosing this convenience for, making our life easier and better, by these kind of intelligent systems, the problem is that we are having a lot of issues with the privacy and the risk because we are compromising privacy for that. We have just seen a biological pandemic like COVID, right? I personally believe that if there is a pandemic next, it will be a cyber pandemic. In that cyber pandemic, in that cyber war, people will be using bits and bytes, which is nothing but small software codes, as weapons rather than the traditional bullets and bombs. And you will see that the countryside wars will be replaced by virtual invasions, which is part of the cyber warfare and the cyber war, right? In that whole war, in that virtual invasion, cyber criminals will be using our own gadgets, our own connected devices, our own systems as weapons to achieve their missions. And I've seen a number of attacks, very, very critical, high severity, high impact attacks and threats where cyber criminals started using common man's smart devices, the autonomous devices. It may be a CCTV which is kept in our own smart home, will be used by cyber criminal, right? And in these attacks, they will use our own devices to launch attack against even from power stations to pacemakers, nuclear power stations to pacemakers. We are living in a world there is zero-day vulnerabilities, and today cyber criminals are using zero-click attacks. I know all of you heard about Pegasus, right? Pegasus is a zero-click attack methodology, right? So, and this is where we need to have a zero-trust mindset in a cyber world. As per the Maryland University research, this is about 5 years back, every minute there are more than 3,000 targeted attacks happening in the world. Every minute, it is not in a day. So you can imagine in a day how many lakhs of targeted attacks happening in the world. So I'm not just playing this video in the interest of time. In Ukraine, when the temperature was minus 34 degree, cyber criminals shut down the electricity grid. You can imagine what happened when the temperature is minus 34 degree, when we don't have electricity. People in the ICU will die. Flights cannot land. Telecommunication towers will be completely stopped. There is no communication can happen. Complete traffic system, including rail systems and road traffic, can be stopped. People in the ICU will die, and the people in the lift will be stuck. So that is what can happen when cyber criminals shut down an electricity grid. And this happened multiple times in multiple parts of the world. It happened in the US, it happened multiple times in Russia, in Ukraine as well. Cyber criminals are targeting systems and launching attacks in the most non-traditional way nowadays. In US and Florida, cyber criminals were trying to really infiltrate the public water distribution system and trying to infuse poison into that. What does that mean? 10.5 million people will be drinking poison because of a cyber attack, right? And this is not only in the cars and the water pipes. Recently, this happened just 1 week back. In Iran, more than 21 flights were trying to be redirected using a fake GPS system. So you can see that with the click of a few buttons, today people can even hijack flights. In Australia, recently a helicopter got crashed, and the report came as it's because of a software vulnerability patch issue. So today, the simple drones or even an aircraft can be hijacked by cyber criminals, and they can use it for their own purposes. And unfortunately, those drones can be our own toys, right, which may be buying for our own kids as a birthday gift, right? There are multiple incidents where people got arrested for using drones to launch attacks. For United States today, the #1 risk to the to the United States is cyber warfare, 45%. China, Russia, Iran are all just single-digit risk in terms of the risk percentage. And this is where, as per the IDC's report, in the next 1.5 years, we are going to have around 50 billion connected devices. What does that mean? For a cyber criminal, there are 50 billion doors to get inside and come to us. So that's a world out there, right? In a smart car, do you know that there are 30 areas cyber criminals can breach and get inside? It can be your Wi-Fi system, entertainment system, braking system, or your AI system, which is collecting all the data, which is sensors, right? Very interestingly, Tesla Model X car, even before it got launched, in 90 seconds, ethical hackers breached this. What can happen when a smart car is getting breached? They can take you wherever you want. Not you want, wherever they want, in fact. They can lock you inside the car and increase the temperature like anything and kill you inside it. In a traffic signal, red signal, you can still somebody can control to take it forward. Instead of left, they can take right. And they can lock you inside the car and increase the temperature like anything, and many more, right? So, if a car can be breached, a road can be breached. We can witness many traffic chaos created by cyber criminals, by cyber attacks. I don't have the time to play a few interesting videos, but this video is available in the internet. This is a car launched by Volvo. And this is a smart car, autonomous car. And this car, they are not only using for commute. They are using this car to replace the HR manager. And you will see a beautiful 1.5 minutes video here. And you can see that this car is interviewing the candidates. So the car is not only on the road inside the corporate as an HR executive. If a car on the road can be breached, imagine a situation, a cyber criminal can create a fake interview to this car, come inside, and still can break it. Or hack the car, and the car can hire the cyber criminal inside the organization. Any possibilities out there, right? NetDragon, a Japanese $10 billion company, appointed a humanoid as its CEO. Imagine if a car can be hacked, a CEO can be hacked, which is a humanoid. If that can happen in all these corporates and the cars in the world, it can happen inside our own homes, which we have seen in the first video, right? The smart home. Right? Any of these devices can be hacked. It can be a TV, fridge, CCTV camera, or even a Wi-Fi router, or even a printer, right? And more interestingly, initially there could be a thought, right? Is it really possible? There were a few cyber criminals trying to hack a casino in Florida. They were not able to get inside the casino because they had very good IT systems. But they found out that there is a small fish tank, fancy fish tank, which was kept in the reception. And that fish tank was connected to the internet because the fish tank was controlled by smart sensors, the light, temperature, and things like that. And there was a vulnerability. So the cyber criminals hacked the fish tank to get inside the casino, looting millions of dollars and the data, right? So anything which is connected, even if a fish tank, a sensor inside a fish tank is a target. So we need to be, when we are talking about smart homes, right? LG smart home boat, when they launched it, actually Checkpoint is a software company, security company, they found a vulnerability in that smart home boat. Imagine if this smart home boat is getting breached. Cyber criminals will be able to take the control of your smart home boat and then take it anywhere they want it, record everything what happens in your private bedroom to the gossip what is happening in the kitchen, right? And send it to somebody without our notice. This happened in Kerala some time back. A smart TV with a camera attached inside a bedroom was breached, and then the cyber criminal was able to take the naked pictures of the lady whenever they were changing dress, even when the TV was powered off, right? It can happen. These are all some examples where a real screenshot of our own devices being breached by the cyber criminals and using it for their own purposes. About is a healthcare manufacturing company. They produced, one of their items is smart pacemakers. FDA, Food and Drug Administration of the US government, has discovered a vulnerability inside more than 465,000 pacemakers, which is connected, intelligent, and smart, can be breached by cyber criminals. That means if a cyber criminal is able to get hold on that, they can kill 465,000 people with a click of a button. And we are going to have a lot of similar devices inside our body, whether it is a cochlear implant, smart insulin pumps, or pacemakers. And even interestingly, this came in India today, actually. Even a sex toy was breached when it was being used, which is connected. So there is anything and everything, whether it is a sensor which is placed inside the fish tank, or a pacemaker sitting inside the heart, or even a sex toy, cyber criminals are targeting everything and everything. There are two pictures, one male and one female. One of these is created by artificial intelligence. Can you say which one it is, male or female? How many of you think it is female? Can you see a raise of hands? Okay, all of you think that it is male, right? In fact, both the pictures are created by artificial intelligence. This is not real pictures. You see how precision these pictures are. Today, cyber criminals are using AI for number of cyber crimes. Deepfake is one of them, actually. So in the interest of time, I'm not playing this video. Another interesting video in the YouTube, you can see that. First 23 seconds, you will not believe that it is not Obama speaking. So precision video they are creating. There are so many news. In Spain, parents are on the street because people are using deepfake to create a lot of pornographic content of their kids. On the right-hand side, you can see another news came 2 weeks back. A boy, 13-year-old boy, arrested from Wayanad in Kerala, who was using deepfake to create pornographic content of his own classmates and friends. 13-year-old boy, right? So this is not only on the video. In Germany, somebody used an audio clip to create a deepfake audio and then use that audio to make a call to the CFO of the company to instruct transferring $35 million, and the transfer happened. In Bangalore, again, another deepfake cost 5 crore rupees in one single click for a businessman. When it is coming to virtual invasion, it can happen in multiple formats. So Rona Wilson case, I'm not sure how many of you know that, the Bhima Koregaon violence case. Rona Wilson got arrested. And when the forensic investigation happened, they realized that it came in the Hindu newspaper saying that cyber criminal was able to breach Rona Wilson's laptop and was placing evidences against him. So we are living in a world, any of these things can happen, right? Virtual invasion. So that means what? We are all under constant attack. And it is not about if I'm attacked, it is all about when I'm attacked, right? As per the IBM's last year report, it takes nearly 277 days to even understand that we are breached or we are under attack. It takes nearly a year to fix this. Now, when cyber criminals are using AIs and advanced technologies to do all these things, right? They use AI to decide whom to attack, when to attack, how to attack, and what to attack. They will use AI to really create autonomous weapons. They use AI to discover vulnerabilities. They use AI to create malicious botnets and adaptive malwares. Adaptive malware is something that we need to be really concerned about, because the malwares, the traditional malwares, are getting intelligent and they can change by the code by itself, which cannot be detected by the traditional systems. And here is why I would recommend we should be using all these AIs and machine learnings and all these advanced technologies to detect and prevent and predict the threats and risk. So these are some of the use cases in the cybersecurity world, how we can use AI, specifically in the cybersecurity aspect, right? False positive reduction in security operations center, which is one of the biggest challenges for security teams. Spam filtering is another interesting area where you can use AI to detect and filter spams, right? Malware detection, you can use AI to detect, autonomous malwares, right? Or, this intelligent malwares. For prioritizing and remediation of your vulnerabilities, you can use AI actually. You can use entity and behavior analytics to predict who are your insiders to reduce your risk actually. Cognitive SOC, Intelligent Security Operations Center, where your L1, L2, L3, some of the operations can be automatically happening from by the security. I mean, these kind of AI systems. You can use AI itself to decode the deepfake material. That's another use case which you can use AI actually. So there are a number of use cases where you will be able to use AI to prevent threats, to detect threats well in advance actually. So what are the benefits? Obviously, real-time threat detection, faster, better, and cheaper, improved accuracy, improved quality of detection, reactive response can be transformed to proactive defense. You can actually have a lot of automation at scale, which will help you to have a lot of cost saving. User experience, one of the biggest challenges what we are having, at least I am hearing from my customers, is actually when you are bringing more security, customer experience is degraded. How can we really improve customer experience while increasing the security measures, right? Actually, you can use AI to deliver the experience while securing your systems, right? So in a nutshell, in a software-defined world, if somebody can control the software, they can control everything. As I mentioned, right? It's all about bits and bytes, not just about bullets and bombs, right? I personally believe that all the crimes in the future will be either a cyber crime or a cyber-led crime, because the objectives of the cyber criminals are changing. Their motives are changing. Earlier, people used to launch attacks to really breach the data and sell it to make money, mostly, right? Data breach. Now today it is to disruption and destruction. That's what we are seeing in many of the attacks. Actually, just want to play a 1-minute video to really show you that how the future crimes can be really coming to us, and especially in the connected automated devices when we are not only using in our corporates, but also in our personal life, right? A very brief 2 minutes video. I hope this will be helpful to just have an idea of what kind of future crimes we are going to see.
Pilots directed almost 3,000 precision strikes last year. We're super proud of it. It allows you to separate the bad guys from the good. It's a big deal. But we have something much bigger. Your kids probably have one of these, right? Not quite. Hell of a pilot? No. That skill is all AI. It's flying itself. Its processor can react 100 times faster than a human. The stochastic motion is an anti-sniper feature. Just like any mobile device these days, it has cameras and sensors, and just like your phones and social media apps, it does facial recognition. Inside here is 3 grams of shaped explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that? That little bang is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents. They used to say guns don't kill people. People do. Well, people don't. They get emotional, disobey orders, aim high. Let's watch the weapons make the decisions. Now, trust me, these were all bad guys. Now, that is an airstrike of surgical precision. It's one of a range of products. Trained as a team, they can penetrate buildings, cars, trains, evade people, bullets, pretty much any countermeasure. They cannot be stopped. Now, I said this was big. Why? Because we are thinking big. Watch. A $25 million order now buys this. Enough to kill half a city. The bad half. Nuclear is obsolete. Take out your entire enemy, virtually risk-free. Just characterize him, release the swarm, and rest easy. Dumb weapons drop where you point them. Smart weapons consume data. When you can find your enemy using data, even by a hashtag, you can target an evil ideology right where it starts.
Two things he mentioned I wanted to highlight here. One, this is good enough to kill the half of the city, the bad half, right? Without putting a nuclear bomb. And the thing what he's saying, all you require is nothing but a hashtag of yourself. You don't need your Aadhaar card or the PII data, nothing. What you need is all about a hashtag of yours and ours. Maybe ours or even our own devices is good enough to really, for a cyber criminal to take the data and target us. Now the second point I would like to highlight here is that actually, now these systems can also be breached. Cyber criminals are targeting to really breach these systems. Now, if they are getting access to these systems, they can actually use it to kill the good half of the city, right? I personally believe that if there is a third world war, it will be a cyber war. The only limitation in cyber world I personally see is that the limit of imagination. But the question is actually how do we really make it safer and better? 98% of the time, I've seen number of worst attacks across multiple countries, multiple clients, multiple regions. Many a times, what I found is actually the attackers are succeeding not because of the companies are not having sophisticated tools and technologies and systems. They invest millions of dollars. Attacks are happening just because of some fundamental basic things are missing. That is what the criminals are exploiting, right? We need to ensure basics and fundamentals are there. And second thing is that security is a shared responsibility. We cannot leave it to the security team, the IT team, and the risk and compliance team. It has to start from the gatekeeper to the board of director, right? And we need to have a zero trust mindset. Before implementing zero trust networks, zero trust architecture, zero trust systems, we need to have a zero trust mindset. And we need to develop it as a culture, right? And I personally think that these kind of programs and awareness campaigns and the culture to be built from the Pillai school. I typically put a 10 commandments, to see that how do we transform our reactive response to a really proactive defense, because what we need is proactive defense. How do we use these kind of advanced systems to really make that proactive defense in place? Shift left approach in the entire application security and development lifecycle, because we are living in a software defined world, right? Application security is very, very critical. Self-healing application with the help of AI. Secure by design frameworks and principles and architectures, very, very important. The third one, integrated and consolidated security. Security is running in silos. That's one of the biggest problems for major cyber breaches and attacks. How do we really integrate and consolidate it? Cognitive security operations. Cyber risk quantification, because today one of the biggest problems, how do we really quantify the risk? How do we know that how much impact we will be having? How do you take a decision on how much budget you need to put it to really invest in cyber technology, right? Quantify, cyber risk quantification. Defense at the edge. We cannot leave everything and anything just untouched just because of its low importance, right? That small sensor inside the fish tank can be hacked. We need to consider to that level of our security perimeter, right? And cyber for all. That's very, very important. We cannot have security considered only for a certain set of stakeholders. Zero trust and cyber resilience, supply chain ecosystem. These are the major 10 things. If I need to really simply conclude it into how do we really implement it on the ground? Intelligence-led security operations, number 1. Number 2, integrated security operations, which is nothing but consolidation. Third one, intelligent defense, which is how do we really embed automation, analytics, and AI into cybersecurity practices. So in the interest of time, I'm just slightly skipping some of this content. As a summary, as a layman, yeah, just because of any devices which is coming with a lot of intelligent capability, which have a lot of connectivity in place, we should not be connecting to the internet just like that if there is no purpose. Because the bad guys, they have to make it right only one time, and we have to make it right all the time. We are already at a war with this invisible enemies who is faceless, nameless, and stateless, right? Instead of reacting and repenting, we need to predict and prevent. Instead of detecting and responding, we need to proactive and prevent it. And collectively, we all have a responsibility to make it safer and better, and together, right? So thank you so much. I hope this session has given you some insights on the future crimes. Happy to take any questions if you have a couple of minutes. Thank you.